I used to fear being alone. I would go through extreme measures just to avoid solitude. When I was alone with my thoughts, they quickly began to spiral and drag me down to a very dark place. So I began equating solitude with depression. But constantly being surrounded with people didn't help either. It actually drained my energy even further. And even worse, it made me into someone I was not. I was pretending, playing a character. It wasn't until I started to work on the core origins of my mental state that I realized being alone doesn't actually make me lonely or cause depression. It gives me space and time to attend to my inner self. After I experienced severe burnout, I noticed solitude was the only way I could rest deeply and gather my strength again. And this is how I ended up here, in a remote corner of Morocco, deep in the Sahara Desert. Every so often, I feel the need to completely unplug from the noise and indulge in pristine nature, alone. This time even more extreme, even wilder. For the next 47 hours, I'll be enjoying complete solitude in an abandoned off-grid campsite with no electricity, no running water, no Wi-Fi, not even a proper bed. I will test my ability to survive alone in a harsh desert environment and see if I can experience the magic of it as well. This is my most feral solitude retreat so far, and I'm ready to wander out of my comfort zone, challenge myself like never before, and see what this barren land has in store for me. I'm ready for the lessons, the insights, and the sand between my teeth. When I told my friend I'm gonna spend 2 days alone in the desert, her immediate response was, "What the hell are you gonna do alone in the desert for 2 days?" To which I replied, "Rest, meditate, observe, stay present with no distractions." My days here in Morocco have been very slow, rooted in daily chores, while I was immersing myself in new culture and environment. But I've also spent a lot of time behind the screen, which wasn't the intention behind this trip. I didn't just crave a change of location, I also really needed more time spent outside, in nature, walking around barefoot, soaking up the sun and hiding from the wind. I needed to unplug from emails, messages, and notifications. I needed to eliminate all distractions so I could hear myself more clearly again. I wanted to give myself the opportunity for questions and answers to arise. At the end, it isn't at all about the empty landscape around me, but the treasures hidden in the landscape deep inside me. And the only way to discover them is to devote your entire quest into finding those treasures. This actually makes me think of the alchemist and his journey to finding his treasure. It took him on all these side quests that ended up teaching him the skills and giving him the knowledge needed to uncover the treasure. So this trip, this retreat is my side quest, and I'm here to soak up all the wisdom needed for my life's big journey. Hello, good morning. Assalamu alaikum from Sahara Desert. I still can't believe I'm doing this. It's a bit wild, at least for me. But even before I came to Morocco, I had this idea of doing my silent off-grid retreat in the middle of the desert, alone, of course. Solitude was the main reason why I wanted to do this. And very quickly after I came to Morocco, I realized that probably that will not be possible, just because most of these, or like all of these camps, are very touristic. And so you go there with people and you're catered, you have a host there, so you're not alone. Or even if you do camping with like one of the nomadic families, you're still there with the family in the middle of the desert. So I was thinking probably the only chance is if I rent a car, but then I also need like all the gear. So when I start asking around if that's even possible, like to rent a 4x4 with camping gear and stuff, they were just like, not. So I was like,
Okay, then I will just do one of the touristic things, go to the desert, enjoy the scenery. But then uh, you always have to talk to people and just ask things, and yeah, things just aligned perfectly. I was with my host in Mohammed, and I was telling him about how I don't want to do any tours. I don't want to do the 4x4. I don't want to go to the big dunes. I just want a place in the desert where I can be alone for 2 nights. And he was like, oh, I have that place. And it's for free. You can use it for free. You don't have to pay anything, because a lot of these things are quite expensive because you have to drive very far into the desert. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, I have this like abandoned camp. I will take you there and you can spend there 2 nights. And I was like, so here I am alone in the desert. I mean, I'm not super far from civilization, which is also good. It makes me feel like, okay, if anything was to happen, there's like people around. But like in this parameter here, for maybe like, I don't know how many meters, 100 meters, kilometer, I'm alone. And this place, as you've probably seen, is super, super basic. It doesn't have electricity, it doesn't have running water, it doesn't have Wi-Fi, it doesn't even have a bed. So I was sleeping on the floor. It does have a well, and they water the garden. There's some things planted here, and there is a solar panel which isn't used, but I think it was used before. And they do have some structures here that used to be like toilets and things, but nothing is operating now. It's completely off the grid. So yeah, it was very interesting arriving yesterday. I arrived just for sunset. Yeah, I had just enough time to walk to the dunes to get the sunset and gather some wood to make a fire. I don't think I've ever made a campfire alone before. So that felt like super great that I can do that. Yeah, it just makes me feel very empowered that I'm here doing this alone and just figuring out. It's now like 9:30 and the sun is getting very strong, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do during the day. I think I'm gonna spend a lot of times just sitting and enjoying this quiet, because it is so quiet here. You can only hear some birds chirping around, but other than that, there's nothing. There's not even wind, nothing. So it's pure bliss. So I'm just gonna enjoy this. getting a bit windy, so let's gear up. Oh my god, all food tastes so much better out here. I swear to God, last night for dinner, I opened up a can of sardines and just had a little baguette, and it was one of the best meals I've ever had. In reality, you need so little to be satisfied. There isn't really much you can do in conditions like these except to hide from the wind. I mean, wind isn't the problem, sand is the problem, and the sand is everywhere. Like, I left the windows open and everything that was inside my bedroom was covered in so much sand. And I think the worst is like getting it in your mouth and in your eyes. So yeah, just trying to keep away, and hopefully is gonna slow down, ease down a little bit, because I really want to go explore into the dunes. Well, just gotta work with what we've got, so lots of time to just reflect and meditate. This got me thinking a lot about, like, why would people put themselves in situations like this? Imagine people live here in the desert, all these nomadic tribes such as Berbers. And I don't know, I guess there's something very primal about living in places like this that challenge you a little bit and put you in this like survival mode, if you will. I think coming out on the other end, having experienced environments like this and challenges that come with this, just makes you makes you more confident and gives you strength. It empowers you. And I'm sitting here and I'm being reminded about Eva Zubek. I've been following her for quite some years now, and she actually just traveled in Morocco with her Land Rover Defender, and she's now, I think, in Mauritania. And she was also experiencing similar conditions on her journeys overlanding through Morocco and Western Sahara. And she was also speaking about this, like, very human nature, because in the modern world we are now in situations that actually weren't really existing. So we have so much stress with everyday situations, whereas here the stress is actually that primal kind of like alarm that is trying to keep you safe and trying to protect you from the harsh environment and any situations that might arise with that. So yeah, I'm just experiencing something that people have been experiencing for thousands of years. Like, it's very natural actually, but living in our like modern urban areas and like even villages, we don't get to be exposed to things like this. So it's nice to experience them and see like how you behave, what thoughts arise, what solutions arise. Yeah. For now, the solution is just to keep away, thankfully. This side of the building is protecting from the wind, but everywhere around me it's like the wind is blazing. So yeah, this is the insights and the lessons of today, I guess. We'll see what else the day brings, what the Sahara throws at me.
I think what I wanted to say is that living in modern environments, which wraps us in comfort and offers a lot of convenience, has robbed us of something very primal, very human. The knowledge and skills to deal with stressful situations, but also it took us out of our natural habitat and dropped us in the middle of artificial ones, which are full of stressors before unknown to our kind. Now the survival mode turns on for deadlines, unresolved relationships, too many obligations, and unmet expectations. When survival isn't dependent on searching for food and shelter, but meeting society's needs, the tables turn and you're unable to keep your head afloat. It's experiences like this that remind you of your true nature and the importance of satisfying your own needs first. Very primitive needs. Everything else is embellishment. The big difference is, here in the wild, nature offers pretty much everything you need to fulfill your needs. If you have the skills and knowledge our ancestors possessed, and the nomadic tribes still possess today. Here, the worries of the modern world fade far into the background, and your instincts become sharper instead. If you listen, you'll find that you already hold all the wisdom, all the skills, all the confidence. Not just to survive, but to flourish. This is what humans were built for, after all, and it's nice to return to it as often as possible.
gathered some wood for later to make a fire. But I think I might have to move the whole fireplace because the wind is coming from here, so no chance. I've been thinking what the lesson is of today, and I've been not planning, but like really choosing which days I want to go to the desert just because I was aware of possibility of wind, and I chose the days when there was supposed to be no wind, and still it was very windy today. So when it comes to nature, there's it's only so much that you can do and so much that you can prepare and plan. So I was thinking that how this like threw me in a situation that I really wanted to avoid, but then still had to deal with. And I think like the how you deal with these kind of situation is like really shows your character and how you are as a person. And I know like years ago I would be so annoyed and pissed and all that, but today I just rolled with it. And actually when I went to the dunes and explored the dunes with the wind, there was actually like so magical how the wind was playing with the sand and how it was creating these patterns, and I thought it was really beautiful. So yeah, there you go. If you see beauty in things like that, then I think you're gonna go through life with so much more ease and joy than if you just look at like the negative aspect of it and be like annoyed that sand is everywhere, because it was literally, it's everywhere. I probably won't be able to get rid of this sand for weeks to come. But still, it was so beautiful, and I really enjoyed the day, and I'm super grateful. And I think another thing is like the appreciation of the small things that you have in this kind of like really raw and really primal environment just makes the experience like 10,000 times better. So yeah, today is done. Tomorrow is a new day, and I just hope that my host comes and picks me up in the evening and not in the morning, because I want to spend another chill day here. Hopefully with less wind. We'll see. Tonight's gourmet dinner: instant noodles, shrimp. I don't care what people think, but instant noodles, my guilty pleasure, especially on days like this when you need something warm, punchy, a little bit spicy. Oh, hits all the spots. Good morning. Oh my god, it's almost 10 a.m. But I woke up for sunrise to take some videos and pictures and just to experience it. I'm happy I did because it was beautiful and so quiet. Oh my god. It was magic. Like honestly, it was something so rarely experienced. Yeah, so worth it. But then I went back to bed and I meditated a bit, but then I fell asleep. Let's start the day. I'm gonna have breakfast and then let's see what the day brings. So far, there isn't even a tiny breeze. It's getting really hot, and I hope it stays without wind today. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I think today will be very still and very introspective because yesterday I was focused a lot on making the video, but now I've showed you everything. There's not much new that I can document. So I think I'm just gonna do what I came here to do, which is to just sit in silence and see what comes up. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna let you know if anything pops up. I'm telling you, out here, it's the simple things that just make everything so amazing and special. So these are my last hours here, as much as it saddens me to say that. It's gonna be back to life, back to reality very soon. But to conclude the video, I wanted to read what I wrote about this whole experience. This experience was very humbling and yet empowering. Thinking about people whose everyday life revolves around surviving these hard conditions makes me so grateful about the comfort and convenience we have in our lives. We live in luxury and abundance, and yet most people dream of being rich with material wealth way beyond their means. Not knowing that there's so much richness in living simply and modestly. Richness in time and space, in health and in peace. The quality of life can be measured from very different perspectives. For me, being the master of my own time, being indulged in nature, living in a natural habitat, eating pure food, having no stress, no distractions, no noise, no pollution, no worries, just a sense of inner peace, that is the true richness. As for the very humble conditions, it's kind of crazy and scary at the same time how quickly I got used to them. Humans are very adaptable creatures. Before coming here, I thought 2 days will be more than enough. 40 plus hours here, and I'm already like thinking I could spend weeks, if not months, here. I mean, these are the kind of experiences that people write books about, and it's about time that I finish mine. My host is on the way to pick me up, so wow, I didn't really think I would be that sad, but yeah, I would love to stay here for longer, but I did run out of food, so time to go back to civilization. Thank you for watching. Bye.